Is The Boogeyman going to be a scary movie that will haunt your dreams? Let's find out. What's going on, guys? Just wanted to give you a quick reaction slash non-spoiler review of The Boogeyman. Just went to go see it late at night, showing at the theater. The room was packed. We were there with the two little ones to see if it was going to be something that was going to scare them. And let me just say, guys, this movie had a lot of great things in it. It had a lot of good atmosphere. It had some really interesting characters. It was very, very small scale, which I appreciated. That allowed the characters to be in the forefront. And you have these two sisters and this father, and they're dealing with a traumatic event that happened with the loss of their mother. From that point on, they're dealing with this creature, this entity, this darkness, this evil that is known as the Boogeyman. Now, this movie, it's from a Stephen King short story. I wasn't aware of this, but it's a short story that's only I think it's like a dozen pages or so. This movie was directed by Rob Savage, who did Host and also Dashcam, and it stars Sophie Thatcher, Chris Messina, and also Vivian Lear Blair. And I think they did a really, really good job as this family unit dealing with this situation. It had some seriously scary moments. I don't scare easily with anything nowadays, but it did have some moments that were really creepy. It had moments where the entire theater would, audibly gasp. Our two little ones jumped multiple times. It did have some jump scares in it, but I think they were the type of jump scares that I appreciate more because they're part of the story itself. Like, there's a reason for the jump scares, like they're built within the story. In other words, it's not something where a character is dealing with a situation and all of a sudden, like, the music cuts in really loud and there's no reasoning for it. Like, this movie had some jump scares in it, but it was within the context of the story. It was within the context of the Boogeyman and what this creature was and what it was doing. I thought it was really, really good. I enjoyed it. It really reminded me, as a movie, kind of on those levels of something like The Black Phone or Smile, the type of movie where you go into it, you're not exactly sure what you're gonna get. And for me, I was pleasantly surprised, just like I was with Smile. Last year, we weren't planning on going to see it, and we went to go see it, and I really, really enjoyed it. And with this movie, I saw the trailers for it, and I was thinking, well, this might be pretty good. It is from a Stephen King story, so I thought, well, it's at least got to have some good value in it. And I will say, with like a lot of other Stephen King stories, the best of them, anyways, it deals with something that is very real, something that is very human, something that we can all relate to. Losing a loved one is something that so many of us can totally understand and we can sympathize with. And so with these characters, when they're presented to us in the movie, you definitely feel for them. And I think that, especially for the two sisters, the young actresses, I think they did a really good job of portraying, these two children dealing with the loss of a loved one. And they're two different ages, you know what I mean? Like, one's very young, the other one is in high school, so they have a different perspective of it. And ultimately, they have to protect each other. They have a father that's dealing with this loss in a different way because he's a therapist and he's kind of retreating into his work and kind of not giving them as much attention in a fatherly way, you know what I mean? So it was a lot of interesting things going on in this movie. Again, with no spoilers at all, the creature itself, very, very intelligent in the way that they utilized it. There was a lot of shadows, there was a lot of darkness, which I thought was really, really good. I really enjoy those types of movies where it's dark and the atmosphere is creepy and so forth. And of course, seeing this movie at night really amplified all of that. They also had, with the youngest sister, this thing where, when she would go to bed at night, she had a light that she always had on. I'm sure you guys have seen it in the trailers, but she's really, really cute. Her name is Sawyer in the movie, but she has this little ball that is, it lights up. And it was really, really cool in a lot of scenes because, she would try to illuminate areas of the room that were in darkness, and she would roll the ball. So I thought it was a really cool little visual. It was just interesting, something you don't really see. Usually you see a flashlight or a cell phone or a candle. So it was really, really different. But again, I think this movie did a lot of great things. It wasn't perfect, but in a movie that's only, I think it's only about 97 minutes long or so, something like that. It was lean and it was straight to the point. The opening of the film was fantastic. The opening was really, really good because it takes its time. It lets you into this world of the story, and the sound design was creepy, so creepy. And something happens early in the movie that you do not expect to happen, and it breaks one of those cardinal rules that you think can never happen in a horror movie, and it does. So as soon as that happened, I remember looking over to Coriander, and I said, wow, they're not playing around in this. So that kind of set a really interesting tone. The movie, it is PG-13, so there's not a lot of gore in it, which I'm perfectly fine with. This movie is much more of a psychological thing. It's much more of a psychological thing, working on the aspect of the darkness and the creepy factor and the atmosphere. And I think that was a really smart thing, because again, I think these are the types of movies that will last a lot longer. You know what I'm saying? Gore, over the top gore for the sake of gore, it just, it doesn't always work. There are some movies that are great like that, but I think that having a story and having the characters in the forefront first, I think that really, really sets a really good movie that will last, and that people can really sink their teeth into. And this is that type of movie. So anyways, guys, this is just my initial thoughts right out of the theater, non-spoilery. Please don't spoil anything in the comments. But yeah, I really did enjoy it. It was a pleasant surprise. So anyways, let me know what you guys think if you've seen it without any spoilers. Leave some comments for us and we can have a discussion. And yeah, hit the like button. It helps to support the channel. I'd appreciate it. And we will catch you guys later. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.